Okay. All right. So here we go. And I'm just going to take, okay, here we go. So good afternoon, everyone. As Angel mentioned, I'm Sophia Eccleston with Florida Power and Light Company. It's unfortunate that we can't be together in person, but I'm happy we can at least be together virtually. Today, I'd like to share with you how FPL is prepared for hurricane season and continue to deliver affordable, reliable, and clean energy during this COVID-19 pandemic, and will continue to do so. But first, let me start with a little bit about the background about FPL. FPL provides affordable, reliable, and clean energy to move to more than 5 million customer accounts, or an estimated 10 million plus people across the state of Florida. Our typical 1,000 kilowatt per hour residential customer bill is approximately 30% lower than the national average. And FPL service reliability is better than 99.98%, and its highly fuel efficient power plant fleet is one of the cleanest among all electric companies nationwide. In 2019, for the fourth time in 5 years, FPL received the Reliability One Award presented by PA Consulting, a prestigious recognition for electric utilities for providing their customers with the highest level of reliability in the industry. We are a leader in solar energy, with our groundbreaking 30 by 30 plan to install more than 30 million solar panels across Florida by 2030, which will make the state a world leader in the production of solar energy. FPL's parent company, NextEra Energy, is the world's largest generator of renewable energy from the wind and sun, and a world leader in battery storage. The past few months have shown us that there is no such thing as being too prepared. FPL has had pandemic and hurricane plans in place for many years, and regularly trains and drill for unplanned events and crises. FPL's commitment to our customers goes beyond keeping the lights on during this pandemic. We have donated millions to the frontline agencies for COVID relief, provided customers with a one-time rate reduction on their May bill. We will be extending suspension of disconnections through June, and we will continue working with customers who are challenged. FPL was able to do all of that because we have had a pandemic plan in place for many years. So we were able to immediately implement a robust plan and continue to safely deliver on our commitments. Keeping our customers and employees safe and healthy is a high priority for us. We are laser focused on making sure we do what's best for our customers and employees. We've incorporated social distancing wherever possible and where feasible, having employees working remotely. And here's a short video I'd like to show you and how we are continuously there for our customers, despite juggling teaching our children at home, or dogs barking during conference calls, as well as, and just, as we just did, having technical difficulties. So here's a short video I'd like to share with you.
Life has been a big change for us.
Even though we're physically far apart, I feel like this time has brought us a lot closer.
Just having those moments where you can really connect. One thing I know that I can count on is that the lights will be on, that my kids will be able to perform their virtual schooling.
We're trying to make sure that we stay healthy because we need to be here for our customers.
We are working to keep all of our lights on.
If you're in a hardship and you need our help, please reach out at fpl.com/help.
Thank you. So now we're adding another layer to living life in a pandemic. Hurricane season officially started June 1st. FPL is prepared for storm season, and now it's more important than ever that our customers are prepared as well. As we could be dealing with the potential of a double crisis, a hurricane, and a pandemic. FPL has a plan for storm season, and we're doing everything we can to make sure we're in the best possible position to restore service safely and as quickly as possible following a storm. We remain 100% committed to being there for our customers when they need us the most. Our commitment has not and will not change. We have been active at planning and preparing, but there will be no doubt the unforeseen challenges related to COVID-19. This pandemic is a very real, and the consequences could be significant. We take the potential impact of both a hurricane and a pandemic on our communities seriously, and so should our customers. Planning and preparing for hurricane season is a year-long process for us at FPL. When preparing for a storm, what many people don't see is that our storm restoration process begins well in advance of a hurricane making landfall so that we are ready and able to respond as soon as it is safe to do so. Quite possibly, the most important activity we can do to ensure we are a well-oiled machine at the start of the season is our annual storm drill. During this drill, we stimulate the response to a mock hurricane. Everyone in the company has a storm role, which is often different from their day-to-day jobs. This year, responding to a hurricane during a global pandemic will be part of our simulation. And last Friday, our team completed our week-long storm drill, which included scenarios from a pandemic, and that was a very successful drill. We also had a responsibility to keep our customers informed before, during, and after a storm. We have an annual communication campaign promoting that we are preparing, and so should customers. In addition, we leverage local media, social media, and targeted communications. After a hurricane, we bring reporters to ground zero to see exactly what we are facing. We will also target ads and communication via email and other digital platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and our new FPL mobile app. We hold daily press conferences and send out 1 to 2 informative news releases after a storm. And we also open kiosks in the hardest hit areas. Our storm communication will include estimated times of restoration that are determined within 24 hours after the storm has left our service territory. Working with our community partners before, during, and after a storm is also critical. We participate in EOC meetings at the start of the year to obtain restoration prioritization lists from counties. The county owns and manages the priority list provided to the company. We perform storm preparedness presentations, some of which have been conducted virtually this year. We also invite everyone to visit our storm page, fpl.com/storm, for a ton of information before, after, and during a storm. This year marks 15 years since Hurricane Irma tore through our state. Since then, we have made significant improvements by hardening our energy grid. This includes hardening nearly all of the main power lines serving critical community facilities and services, such as police and fire stations, hospital, and 911 centers. Trimming about 15,000 miles of power lines each year and maintaining vegetation where necessary to keep lines clear and help prevent outages. And we are leveraging technology like never before. We've installed more than 5 million smart meters and more than 120,000 intelligent devices along the energy grid. Using advanced technology helps detect problems and restore service faster if outages occur. We deploy drones and autonomous robots that allow us to quickly assess damage and help dispatch crews where they're needed most and first. Another significant storm was Hurricane Irma. In fact, post-Irma, restoration was the largest and fastest for any one utility in US history. The number one cause of outages during Irma was trees falling and debris blowing into our lines. You can harden a power pole, but you can't stop a tree from knocking out a power line. Think of it like your home. Building codes are stronger now, and newer homes can sustain stronger winds. But if a tree falls on your home, it can damage your roof. Trimming and properly maintaining trees is a shared responsibility among FPL and our customers and local governments. But it's also part of the solution. It's also about planting the right tree in the right place so as to not interfere with power lines. We will continue to work with our cities, counties, and customers to help them understand the importance of tree maintenance and planting the right tree in the right place to reduce outages during storm and throughout the year. It's hard to imagine that Irma was only 3 years ago. We know how Hurricane Irma, that the investments we're making in our hardening program are paying off for our customers. That includes inspecting approximately 150,000 power poles annually for strength, trimming vegetation away from approximately 15,000 miles of power lines each year. Additionally, we'll continue strengthening our power poles and power lines. All main power lines, which are called our feeders, will be hardened or on the ground in the next 5 to 7 years, subject to review and approval by the Florida Public Service Commission. And next year, we will begin hardening neighborhoods lines, which are called our laterals. Here are some stats to show you how much improvement has been made between Wilma and Irma. After Irma, all customers were restored 8 days faster than during Irma, with more than 2 million being restored within 1 day of the storm passing. More than 12,400 poles were damaged during Hurricane Wilma, compared to 2,900 during Irma, demonstrating the benefits of our hardened efforts. During Hurricane Irma, 546,000 outages were avoided due to the company's smart grid. Looking back at Hurricane Dorian, that was a blockbuster storm that sat off our doorstep for days and caused us to look for innovative ways to be flexible and pre-deploy resources and reevaluate our storm rider plan. We also had to determine an effective staging site strategy when faced with highly uncertain forecasts. FPL assisted other utilities during their time of need in 2019 too, which reinforced the importance of FPL's processes and initiatives our customers deserve. We have a proven restoration process, and how we get the lights back on will not change. However, we are incorporating new safety measures to help protect our personnel from COVID-19, as we spoke earlier. So how will the restoration process be different? We will take a number of precautionary measures to ensure our employees and customers stay safe. For instance, FPL will be adjusting the layout of our staging sites and adding more micro staging sites to allow for as much social distancing as possible. We will be implementing extensive cleaning and sanitation measures at our staging sites and command centers to protect all of the personnel supporting our restoration effort. We will continue to provide nursing stations at staging sites. We will be assigning backup staff and for all critical functions, including command and control centers, which coordinate storm response and grid operations. The bottom line is that we will take very serious our responsibility and our duty to serve our customers in good weather and in bad. We have a culture of continuous improvement, and we always refine and adjust our storm plan based on the current situation and learnings from past storms. We ask our customers for patience during these extraordinary circumstances. While we certainly hope it won't happen, we're asking our customers to prepare for the possibility of being out of power for an extended period of time should a storm affect us this season. Regardless of the circumstances, FPL remains steadfastly committed to continuously delivering the reliable and affordable electricity that everyone relies on. I'd like to end by reminding you that we have a lot of great information online at fpl.com. Please think of hurricane season beyond checklists. Consider developing an emergency plan that will help you think about how a storm and resulting power outages could affect your family. Let's all make it our personal responsibility to do our part so that everyone in Florida is prepared this hurricane season. And with that, I'll end my presentation and I'll take some questions.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sophia. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A box down at the bottom, and we'll go ahead and answer those for you. I do have a couple of questions, though, to get started while we wait for some of our attendees to type in the box. Sophia, my first question is, what should customers be doing right now to prepare for a storm?
Yes, Angel, that's a good question. As I mentioned during my presentation, now is the time for customers to take a look at their family plans to see whether or not, they're in an area where they may have to evacuate and figure out where that would be. Also to find out, if for elderly, if they're not able to stay in their homes, if they don't, where would they go? Make sure that you have hurricane supplies. If you need a generator, look at getting a generator. You got to start looking at your family plans and seeing if a hurricane should hit during this pandemic, keeping in mind social distancing. What would you do? Where would you go? Do you have enough food? As you know, many times when a storm is coming, you see long lines at the gas station and in the stores. With social distancing, that's going to be a challenge. So I think, we want our customers to really start thinking about those things and start being prepared.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like a lot of people, I didn't even really think about how bad those gas lines get. And
Absolutely.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Good point. Okay, so my second question is FPL ready if a storm hits during the pandemic? Have you guys prepared for that? I think we may have lost you for a second. Oh, no.
Can you hear me?
Perfect. There you go. You're
Okay.
back. You're back.
Yeah. Yes. At FPL, we are always ready. We've had a pandemic team in place even before this pandemic hit. And as I mentioned during my presentation, last week we had our week-long storm dry run where we incorporated scenarios from this pandemic, and it was a successful dry run. We are ready, and we ask that our customers be ready as well.
Perfect. And we actually have a question here from one of our viewers. You might have touched on it, but we want to go back over it. The question is, how is COVID affecting deployment of technicians after a storm? Will people come in from out of state to help still?
We're hoping so, but we have to also keep in mind that we don't know what that would look like yet with travel restrictions going on with the pandemic. We're not sure what that would look like. So that's the reason why we're asking our customers for patience. all of our FPL employees do have a storm role, and our entire team will be working, and we do expect to have some type of delays if a storm hits.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. And then, so my last question is, if I have a project that FPL was working on before the storm arrives, what happened to my project and the timeline? Does it get delayed quite a bit, or how's that going to work?
Actually, that's quite a few questions that we get, especially if we have a lot of developers who are in South Palm Beach County, where Del Rey is. Yes, once a storm, is coming, our entire team is, deployed for storm. So we all have a storm role. So all those projects are then put on hold until the storm passes and every single one of our customers are restored. So it definitely will affect those timelines. So it's important that developers or people who are having projects with us during that understand that those get put on hold because obviously there's a storm. Most work are going to get put on hold, but yes, that will create some delays in that. And we want, we'd like for our customers to understand that every single one of our employees do have a storm role, including those at the service centers who will be making sure that every single one of our, customers are restored.
So if
I see those questions, and I will that question just pop up. I will not going to touch on that on cost and that right now. I will put that that question for a later date. I'll give them the right person to reach out to for that information.
Perfect. That's why we do these. Sometimes you got to connect them with someone else, or it's
absolutely
type of question.
Absolutely.
To kind of circle back to the question you just answered in regards to projects, if there's like a big project that needs to be started, would you recommend waiting on that, or just kind of move ahead?
I think we're in storm season. We're continuing to do work. This what I'm saying is for those people who their project is in the works, and if a storm hits, that yes, they do have to expect that all employees are going to be focused on restoration, not working on projects, and I'm sure most projects are going to be put on hold because of the damage that's going to be going on from a hurricane. So right. I don't think that, that is too much of an issue, but, right after the storm passes, right after every single one of our customers restored, the team does go back and begin those projects again.
Right. Well, I'm grateful for that, because I know when a storm hits, the first thing I'm waiting for is the AC to kick back on.
Right. So start making those plans now, because again, we are not sure, we do expect some delays, and that's the reason why we want everyone to be prepared. And, if you're someone who can't live without electricity, think about having a generator, and, make sure that you have, your proper amount of, food and water and everything at home. So we're prepared at FPL, and we want our customers to be prepared as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. If anybody else has another question, please feel free to type it. I'm going to take 1 second to check on our Facebook to see if we have any live questions. And I'm just going to give one.
And if you want to type those questions to me, this definitely want to touch on storm today, and I'm going to answer any questions that's related to storm.
Alrighty, so our Facebook doesn't have any live questions.
Okay.
So if anybody has any other questions, please take this moment to ask them. We're gonna have to let Sophia go at some point.
Yes, I will give you my email address. If anyone has any follow-up questions, feel free to email me, and you have my email address, Angel. You can send it out to everyone.
Absolutely.
If they have any questions, feel free to send them to me, and if I can answer them, I'll get an answer for them. And the person that has the call and cost and all of that, feel free to email me that, and I can a specific question, because it's kind of vague. But if you send me a specific question, we can get that answered. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. All right, everybody, if we have no more questions, as always, please note that this webinar has been recorded and it will be on not only our Chamber Facebook, but our Chamber YouTube channel and our webinars tab for the Chamber website. I really want to thank you so much, Sophia, for being here. We want to thank FPL for all of the support that they bring to the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce. And it was really such a pleasure to have you here. I'm probably going to rope you back in at some point to do another webinar this year, just because FPL has so much information and so many tools to share with the community. So thank you again. And I think we're going to go ahead and close this out.
Yeah, you're welcome. Happy to help. We're always here to help and make sure we educate our customers. So thank you.
Perfect. Bye, guys.
Bye.